feel like you got away with one there?
Yeah, it certainly does. We didn't deserve to win that game in the end, and I think what good teams do is they win the games that they don't necessarily deserve to win. We're aspiring to be a good team. We're still a work in progress with that, and at times tonight it didn't feel like that. But I thought Richmond were really good. Their ability to win the ground ball, win the contest, get the ball moving forward, challenge us ahead of the ball, compete. Those guys, particularly that they brought back in, Nank, Lynchy, Dion Prestia, with experience and premierships were really important for them. And they showed everyone why they're so important to Richmond and why they're such good players.
And was there anything particularly changed at three-quarter time, other than starting to more clearance?
Yeah, I think that was the shift. We were able to get our hands on the ball at clearance and get the ball going our way and really challenge and spread and play our way a bit more regularly than what we had done in the first three quarters. And so once we were able to do that, we started to get some really good looks ahead of the ball. Defence became just a little bit easier, and we got rewarded. So it was nice.
And obviously the win appears to have been soured by Callum Ward's injury.
Yeah.
An update on what the expectation is around that, or sort of?
Look, I think he's hurt his knee. Obviously he'll get scans in due course, but it doesn't look great. So, obviously incredibly disappointing for our footy club. Such an important person, important player. And so I don't know what it'll look for the rest of the season, but he'll be around supporting us. He's a fantastic clubman. He sees the game really well, and there's no doubt that he'll add value in whatever he does. It just won't be on the field, unfortunately.
And I guess he's done an ACL before. He's spoken already today about concerns for himself. That's what it is again. Is that the initial diagnosis? Your understanding?
That's what we're expecting. Yeah.
And I guess a very selfless act that we saw at three-quarter time, where he's given that.
That's just a reflection of who he is. He puts the team ahead of himself, and he's done that for 17 years.
Is that something you've seen before in the game? Because it takes quite a player to be able to step up with their own personal.
Well, as I said, that's him. He saw the need to try and get his troops moving and stepped in. I'm not sure exactly what he said to them, but whatever he said, it worked.
It felt like the sort of the air was just sucked out of the joint when it happened. Richmond went on to kick 6 of the next 7. Are you proud of how, in the end, you were able to pick up and recover from something like that?
Absolutely, yeah. You're right. It sucked the life out of our players without question, and so managing that as well as a pretty strong Richmond team playing really good footy proved too much. And I think they kicked 5 in a row before we responded, and from that point on, after that, so they got out to that 5-goal lead roughly, we were able to then get in the arm wrestle and maintain the gap, around that. We didn't allow it to blow out any further, which was good. But just by doing that became really important. Obviously, with the margin in the game, we were able to chase that down but if it had been any more, we wouldn't have got there.
And is this the sort of that last quarter something that can spur 2, 3, 4 wins in a row, hopefully?
I hope so. I mean, I think our form has been pretty good. We were a bit disappointed tonight with the first 3 quarters, but a week ago we were pretty strong against a good Carlton team down there, and we're confident that we're good enough and our game is in good order. But we just can't have too many lapses.
And had a couple of players step up in that last turn, Callum Brown and Aaron Cadman, not necessarily known for, taking control of the forward line like that.
Yeah.
How important is it to, spread the load, especially when it's so critical?
Yeah, it's really important, and those boys have had their moments across the season and in past seasons too. So, Brown kicked 3 last week, so he's feeling pretty good about himself, but in clutch moments tonight, he was able to hit the scoreboard and really generate something for us, and I thought Cad's competed all night. Unpredictable ball use coming into him made it a little bit more difficult for him, but he just competes, and he's so athletic and hard to play on now. So we really love what he's giving us, and he stepped up in that last quarter, just like he did last year against Brisbane in that last quarter. So it was probably quite similar, really.
And what did it mean to have Josh Kelly back in the side after his stint out?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, he did some really nice things, and in some really pivotal contests he had influence over in that last quarter, and he was a bit rusty, but he'll certainly grow and get better from playing tonight.
And as many positives as there were when you get home, with the win. The contested ball and clearance was a concern again, especially at the centre clearance. So I guess what are you going to do to turn that around? And
we've been working on it, and we've identified that as a bit of an issue for us. That clearance game and the centre bounce clearance stuff, and being able to defend it. And it's just we haven't quite found the answers yet, but I'm confident we will. We'll continue to work. Our players are putting in a lot of work around it. It's just we're just not seeing it game day yet, but I'm sure we will.
Umpires seem to show a little bit of leniency, particularly in holding the ball. Interpretations today, I think you only got 4 free kicks for the game.
We did.
Yeah. Is that
in total, or
in total? Yeah.
We got 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that interpretation something you hope's more consistent going forward, or?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to go back and watch our game. I look at the games across the weekend thus far, last night and the night before, and I think it's been adjudicated well. The holding the ball, or you're one arm free, and we expect you to get rid of the ball, dispose of it, and if you don't, it's going to be a free kick against. So I've really liked. Maybe it's a tightening of that rule. I didn't really notice any tonight from the sideline, but I'd have to watch the tape again.
Any other injuries besides Cal?
No. Briggs is a bit sore still, but we'll just see how that progresses. And other than that, I think we're pretty good. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.